Family and Consumer Sciences Extension at the University of Kentucky. Our agents share research knowledge with individuals, families, and communities to improve quality of life. Building strong families, building Kentucky. It starts with us.
Hello, my name is Vicki Wynn. I'm the Family and Consumer Sciences Agent at the Marshall County Extension Office. We are with the University of Kentucky Cooperative Extension Program, and today I want to talk to you about helpful tools in the kitchen when giving gifts from the kitchen. We have a lot of things that help us to do our work more efficiently and more easily. And I wanted to share with you some of the things that I think are very helpful when we're putting together our gifts from the kitchen. One of the first things that I want to talk about are portion scoops. And we use portion scoops for a lot of different things, but with the cookie dough that we give as a gift from the kitchen, it's been scooped out with a portion scoop. And I like this size portion scoop, and they make all different sizes. As you can see, we've got all of these different sizes, and they are color coded, which I think is very, very helpful. If you are looking for a certain size for your portion scoop, they usually will have the number either on this little lip that sticks out here, or it will be on the bail inside of the scoop itself. Now this one is a number 40, and that is a very, very good size for scooping the cookie dough and making them all uniform and very easy to handle. That's a number 40. And this one is a number 30. So as you can see, when the number goes down, the size of the scoop is larger. So the ones that have smaller numbers are actually larger scoops. When I look at this one, it tells me that it is a number 24. So there we have 24, 30, and 40. So depending on the size that you would want for your cookies, you could use any of these portion scoops and have very, very good results. In addition to these type portion scoops, they've started manufacturing a more ergonomic design in portion scoops. This is a number 100, and it is a very, very small size scoop, but it would be very handy if we were using it for things that we didn't want to be very, very large. And so this is a number 100. So you can see in comparison the number 24 versus number 100. So lots of portion scoops out there that are available for use for things you do in the kitchen. And another thing that I find very, very handy is parchment paper. And when I am freezing cookie dough, I like to put parchment paper on my baking sheet, and it makes it easy for cleanup. It makes it easy for baking. There's just so many uses for parchment paper. And this is easily found in the grocery stores, in discount stores, and around the holidays you may even see some pre-cut baking sheets out of parchment paper. So it comes in typically this size, like your aluminum foil or your wax paper. And keep in mind, it is not interchangeable with wax paper. Parchment paper is very well suited for things not sticking to it and making cleanup very, very easy. So highly recommend parchment paper. Also, the little clear bags And you can see we use those for the caramel apple and for some of the other items, the mugs, the hot cocoa mix in a mug, and we could tie it up. You can usually find these at discount stores or grocery stores. They're easy to find. They're called loot bags. A lot of people use these for birthday parties and just tying up small gifts. So these are very, very handy to have. Also, wanted to talk about having some cupcake liners or baking liners. These are very, very convenient for when we want to use these as part of our jar toppers. And that's what I've used underneath that canning ring. And this one has a cupcake liner as well. And I think we use those for so many different things. So those are very, very convenient to have on hand. And that would make a nice gift as well. If you know someone that bakes a lot or that does a lot of gifting from their kitchen, these would come in very, very handy. I also like to have on hand a lot of gift tags and have those ready to use. We can either print those from the computer or you can handwrite those, but having those little gift tags readily available makes gift giving and gift preparing a whole lot easier. So it's nice to always have some of those on hand with different sentiments. You may have some that say thinking of you, or get well soon, or Merry Christmas. There's just all kinds of different messages that you can have on your labels that work out really well. Also, keeping in that line of thought, having some adhesive or some rolling tape adhesive is very, very convenient. You can also use double-sided tape, but this is usually found in the crafting section or scrapbooking, paper crafts department of stores, and it's very, very convenient to use when you're preparing gifts from the kitchen. Also, all kinds of canning jars. And it seems like this year there has just been a lot of different jars on the market, and keep an eye out because I do know these have been difficult to find this year, but sometimes you do happen upon them when you're not expecting to see them. They make such a good, useful container for your gifts. They really add to your gift, and this particular gift is the quart size of this same jar. This is the pint size, but it's very easy to work with, and I just added a decoration that was some scrapbook paper that I made a garland out of. So there's just so many different ways you can dress these up and things that you can make with them that make for a nice gift, and you really didn't have to spend a whole lot of money. So gift jars, all sizes and shapes, always be on the lookout for those. And as you can see, I have my baking rack in my cookie sheet, and even if you're doing some oven dehydrating, like you could dry these oranges and apples in the oven if you don't have access to a food dehydrator, but a baking cooling rack on top of your baking sheet in the oven, in about 3 hours you can dry your orange slices. And all you do is cut those about 1/4 inch thick, spread them out on your cooling rack, and put them in a 200-degree oven for, usually takes about 3 hours, 3 to 3.5 hours. So also a funnel is very handy, especially if you're putting together some of the cookie mixes or some of the bread mixes. It makes a lot easier to control those ingredients as they go into your jars. And of course, it will fit either a regular mouth jar or a wide mouth jar. So having these things on hand can make it so much easier when you're trying to prepare gifts from the kitchen for gift giving, and they make your work a lot easier. And especially these portion scoops can control the amount that you need. Just as we've shared, the cookie dough is in uniform portions so that every cookie is going to be the same size. And that's important when you're planning to give gifts in this way. So this hopefully would be helpful to you when you're preparing gifts for the holidays or for any time. These are very basic tools. And again, I like to give portion scoops as a gift. I'll give it with a recipe, whether it be cookie dough or even a muffin recipe. The larger scoops are good to scoop out muffin mix when you're putting that in your baking pan. So until next time, I'm Vicki Wynn, and thank you so much for joining us.